Hello! Thank you for joining me on this, the last ever drawing club. Can you believe it? Oh my goodness. Wow. So, somebody's asked me today if we could draw people with animal ears. And I thought, of course we can. Why not? Let's do that. Because that's a little bit mystical, I thought we might like to draw in a style that's slightly more cartoony, a bit more like the Bitmoji characters that a lot of you teachers have been sharing. So it's going to have a bit of a bigger head, tiny little body. We'll focus on messing about with proportions a little bit today. So I'm going to do a character sort of based on a fox, because I saw a fox in my garden last night. So, as ever, well, normally I'd start in the middle, but because this is going to be a more sort of big-headed, cartoony character, I'm going to start with the head and work down a little bit differently to what I usually do. And I'd try and have a really clear idea in my head of what I wanted this to look like before I started. And I think I'm going to do somebody with very wavy hair and big tufty fox ears sticking out at the top. As we know, when you look at a face, the line that you see around the edge of the face is the line that the hair makes. It's not the shape of a skull, it's not like an egg. So we'll start by doing that hair, and I'm going to make mine really wavy. And the reason I like drawing wavy hair is I actually find it quite a lot easier, because it doesn't matter if you get the shapes right exactly, it just all kind of falls into place. And when I've done that, I'm going to think about where those ears are going to be. And if you imagine sort of a dotted line around the head, where like a hairband would be, that's quite a good guide to use for where you want the base of your ears to go. So then we just take it up and draw a nice ear shape. I'm making mine tufty at the top because, like I said, it's a fox. And they've got these fantastic kind of tufts going to the top of their ears, like that. And then I rub out the bits that you wouldn't be able to see because they're behind, and I rub out that dotted construction line. When I've done that, I probably want to put some little curls of hair or fluffy bits around the base of the ears so it doesn't just look like they're coming out of nowhere. Right, let's draw the rest of the face. Because I'm feeling quite inspired by these Bitmoji characters that people have been sharing, I'm going to give it quite a pointed chin. And then, just as ever when I draw faces, eyebrows first. And then I'm going to draw the eyes. And when I draw these eyes, I'm going to make them quite almond in shape, quite like a diamond, but with the edges rounded. Because that's kind of the shape of a fox's eyes. And I want to really exaggerate the foxiness of this character. So I'm going to go for like a rounded diamond. And then when I draw the pupil, I'm not going to do a little circle floating in the middle of the eye. No. I'm going to do a great big circle that you can't see the edges of. And then put a pupil in the middle. Okay, let's get those in, using the shape of the eyebrows as a guide. And then the circles. And the pupils. One of the eyes here is going a little bit behind the hair. That's okay, I'm not worried about it. Next, I'm going to do the mouth. Now, a lot of my sort of favourite stories about foxes, the fox is quite sly. So I'm probably going to be a little bit... I'm not going to do a great big happy face, I'm going to do a slightly sly face. So I'm going to do the mouth coming up to one side. And not really giving much away. Equally, with the nose, because a fox's nose and a person's nose are so different, I'm just going to do it very, very gently, some little lines and a couple of dots, and that'll do me. I probably am going to come in and do a heavy eyelid though, and maybe even some eyelashes towards the corner of the eye, because it kind of creates more of that foxy shape. I quite like that. Right, now we said we were inspired by these Bitmoji characters, so the body is going to be quite small. It's really only going to fill up that space. And because it's our last week, I'm going to put this fox child in a St Mary's school uniform. Now that I'm moving on to the body, I am going to do the starting in the middle technique because I think it's really helpful. I've only got this much space left, and I don't want to do the thing where you end up running out of paper at the bottom. So I know that if I put the waist here, the waist in the middle, I won't run out of paper. So I'll put a waistline in there. And it's much smaller than the head. That entire waistline bit is smaller than the head. And I'm going to give her a sort of baggy school jumper. And I'm going to have her holding something in her hands in front of her like this. So when I'm doing this, you can see my arms are bent and then they come forward. So for her, I'll take her shoulder out, her arm bends and comes round. And I'm not putting in the straight lines like I sometimes would, because I'm not worried about it being realistic. Because why would you worry about a drawing being realistic when it's of a person who's half girl and half fox? So I'm drawing those sleeves of her jumper, and then her little hands like this, overlapping with each other, like that. And I'm going to make her holding a little St Mary's star. That's nice, isn't it? I'm feeling quite sentimental. Let's fill in the rest of her jumper. It'll be a little bit baggy. School jumpers tend to be a little bit baggy. And it's got a round neck. And then the neck on this character is going to be really, really skinny, because that's one of the kind of characteristics of those Bitmoji cartoons. A really tiny, skinny neck. Right then. Let's put her in a school skirt. She's kind of triangular in shape, with maybe some pleats in it, which I'm going to draw as these straight lines. Make it look more like a school skirt. And then her little legs poking out the bottom. And some little shoes like this. And I'm going to give some detail on those shoes. Thinking about where those lines would go quite carefully. And some little frilly socks, because I love a little frilly sock. I think they're really cute. Something else she needs, isn't there? Do you know what I'm thinking? Not quite happy with how I've drawn that furry bit there, so I'm going to try it again. There we go. And let's get some fur on the bottom of it as well. Sort of scratty, foxy tail. I'm going to put some more detail in that. I would love to see what sort of animals you do. You could do a bat, or a cat, or a dog, or a goat. I think if I was an animal, I'd probably be a goat, so maybe next one I'd do big goat horns. I want to see what you get up to. Thank you so much for your participation in Drawing Club. Whether you've come every week, whether you came at school, whether you didn't come at school, whether you just drop in occasionally, I have loved seeing what you've been up to. I've loved making these videos. It's one of my favourite parts of my week, is when I do my little Drawing Club video. So, big thank you, and let all of your teachers see your wonderful artwork. See you soon, guys. Bye-bye.